Happy New Year everyone, Mega Shorts here, bringing you my first Doctor Who Character Building Series 3 figure review. Today we'll be taking a look at the Judoon Trooper figure, which is one of several rare figures from this series. I got this figure recently from one of my local game stores for £1. I'm really happy to see a Judoon figure in the line. We've seen the Judoon in Doctor Who in every season since 2007, so this is a figure that we can use for quite a lot of scene recreations, and also a figure that would go nicely alongside our 10th Doctor and 11th Doctor figures. The packaging for the Character Building Series 3 figures is very similar to that of the Character Building Series 1 and 2 figures. When I say Character Building figures, I mean the Doctor Who Character Building figures. On the front we could see the new Doctor Who logo along with the number of the series, and also several figures from this particular series, none of the super rare figures though. On the back we can see some product and company information. It's pretty much standard. I don't think any of it is different, or much different anyway. The packet also comes with a leaflet showing you the majority of the figures from the series, apart from the super rare figures once again. It also tells you how common or rare the figures are. The ones with the green bricks are the common figures, the ones with the yellow bricks are the standard figures, sort of halfway between common and rare, and the ones with the red bricks are the rare figures. There's also some pictures of other Doctor Who character building sets on the back of the leaflet as well. Okay, so here we have the Doctor Who Character Building Series 3 Judoon Trooper figure in all his mini plastic glory. He does come with an accessory, which is a small red gun, and we'll be taking a closer look at that later on in the video. He does also come with a display stand, which is made to look like the DW version of the Doctor Who logo from 2010. As I said before, I'm really happy to see a Judoon figure in the character building line. We've seen the Judoon in Doctor Who since 2007, and we've even seen them in Series 3 of the Sarah Jane Adventures, so this is a figure that we can do quite a lot with. Now, despite being a really small figure like most of the other Doctor Who character building figures, the character building Judoon Trooper figure has got some really impressive detail that I absolutely love. The head sculpt has all the detail that it needs to be a nice, accurate representation of the Judoon Trooper's helmet. We can see that it features the nice thin black visor along with several air vents underneath. There's 4 on each side of the helmet. There's also the lines above the visor which lead towards the back of the helmet, and the silver lining which goes all the way around the helmet. I really like the silver lining, by the way. I really like the paint they've used for it. It looks very shiny and metallic. And on the back of his neck we can see this interesting little feature which seems to be quite similar to the Probic vent on the Sontarans. It's around the same place on the neck, but I'm sure it's used for a completely different purpose, and it is a completely different shape as well. There's also a couple of lines on each side of it. I think that's quite a nice little bit of additional detail. Also here we can see the big oval shaped part of his armour. That's another nice extra bit of detail that I really like seeing on this figure. The shoulders have also got a bit of detail. We can see that they each have 3 rectangles or 3 rectangular shaped bits of armour coming out of them. The chest is also very nice. We can see the outlines of his muscles, a couple of silver bands down towards the waist, and even the Judoon scanner. As you can see, the Judoon scanner has just been painted on. It's not part of the sculpt or anything, but I think it's really nice that it's on the figure. This would have made quite a nice accessory for this figure, I think, but I'm quite happy that they've made the Judoon gun into an accessory rather than this Judoon scanner, because we have seen the Judoon using their guns more than their scanners in Doctor Who over the past few years. But if this figure is ever re-released in the future, I wouldn't mind seeing a Judoon scanner accessory for it. Unlike other parts of the figure, the legs aren't really all that detailed, but I think they're just fine the way they are. We can see that they've got the small grey lines on the front of the feet. They don't go all the way around the feet. As you can see, they're just on the front there. So, at the moment, it looks like the Judoon Trooper figure is a very good one. But before I deliver my verdict on this figure, we're going to take a look at his articulation. Now, because the Judoon Trooper has a very big bulky helmet, his head cannot turn at all, but I think this is just fine. It doesn't let the figure down at all to me, and the rest of the articulation is pretty much standard for a Doctor Who character building figure. His arms can go backwards and forwards from the shoulders. As you can see, they can't turn all the way round or do a 360-degree turn, in other words, but I think that's just fine because I don't really need them to go all the way around. His hands can also do a full 360-degree turn at the wrist, and he can also turn 360 degrees at the waist like so, and his legs can also move backwards and forwards from the waist. I think the articulation of this particular figure is just fine. I don't think it needs any improvements whatsoever, and despite the lack of head articulation, I'm really happy with it. The Judoon Troopers can actually turn their helmets in the show, so as I said before, the fact that there's no head articulation on this figure is absolutely fine to me. So overall, I think the Doctor Who character building Judoon Trooper figure is an excellent addition to my Doctor Who character building figure collection. This is a figure that I absolutely love. It's got some excellent detail, fantastic paintwork, great sculpting, and really nice articulation, and I'd quite happily give this figure a 5 out of 5. It's a figure I'd recommend to any fan of Doctor Who out there at the moment, and anyone that is a keen collector of the Doctor Who character building figures. As I said before, the Judoon have appeared in Doctor Who in every series since 2007, so this is a figure you can use for an awful lot of scene recreations, and it's a figure that is obviously very good for army building, and one that I just recommend to anyone in general, and it's definitely one of my favourite Doctor Who character building figures so far. I'm so happy to have this in my collection now. Here we have the Judoon Trooper figure's gun. As you can see, this accessory is absolutely tiny, but it has got some brilliant detail. We can see all the little bits and pieces around the trigger, and also the part where the laser comes out at the end. There's also the hole where the trigger would be as well. It does fit into the Judoon Trooper figure's hands very nicely as well, so you can have him posing and fighting with it. As you can see, it is also painted with just one light shade of red, but I think that's fine because the Judoon gun is pretty much just red all over in the show. So I think this accessory is really nice. I don't think it needs any improvements, much like the figure itself, and I think it deserves a really nice 5 out of 5. Here we have the display stand, exactly the same as that of any other Doctor Who character building figure, apart from the Daleks, because they do not come with those. It's quite a nice little display stand. There's not much to say about it really, but it's been made to look like the DW version of the Doctor Who logo from 2010. It's got the couple of pegs up here for the figure's feet, and it's also got this nice dark shade of blue. There's also a couple of, well, 4 holes at the bottom of it, so you can put it onto some of the character building sets if you wish. There's also some copyright information around here. I think this is a nice display stand. I like the fact that it is made to look like one of the Doctor Who logos. I just think it could have been better if these pegs were around the middle there, because I think the figure would just look a bit better if it was more around the middle. But as I said before, I think this display stand is okay, and if I was to give it a rating out of 5, I'd give it a 4 out of 5. And that is pretty much it for this review, YouTubers. I hope you've all enjoyed watching it, and once again, I wish you a very happy new year. My next Doctor Who character building figure review will be of the Vashta Narada figure, which is another rare figure from Series 3, and then at some point I'll be reviewing the Common 11th Doctor figure from this series, and also the Bronze Starlet from this series. Got quite a few nice presents for Christmas. A lot of them are some really awesome action figures that I'd love to review sometime soon, so I'll be reviewing those at some point soon as well. Thanks for watching. See ya.